Sundarakanda. Hanuman meets Sita. Anjaneya, upon reaching Lanka city, starts his search in the night time in a size of a small cat to find Sri Rama's missing wife Sita. But he fails to find her even after searching every inch of the Lanka city, including Ravana's palace and Pushpaka Vimana. Upon continuing his search, he lands inside Ashokavana, a garden which is near to Ravana's palace, in the early morning hours. There he climbs the Simsapa tree to see his surroundings. From the tree, he notices a depressed woman sitting under a tree surrounded by demon women. With his analysis, he strongly believes that she is none other than Sri Rama's wife Sita and decides to meet her in person to convey Sri Rama's message. At the same time, Anjaneya notices King Ravana coming towards Ashokavana along with his wives and women servants. As it is still dark, the servants are carrying wooden fire torches in their hands. After seeing Ravana in that place, he moves from top to middle of the tree to hear his conversations. Sita also starts to panic upon seeing Ravana and covers her body with her hands and sari. The Ravana, upon reaching nearer to Sita, "Oh Sita, why are you fearing now? I am an admirer of your beauty. I am requesting you to accept my marriage proposal. As demons, we have nature to abduct any woman if we like them. Bringing you here, I did my demon job correctly. Until you accept my proposal, I am not going to touch you. How many more days are you going to sit in this garden with dusty clothes, hunger, and sleeping on the land? Why do you keep thinking of your husband Sri Rama, who is poor and lives in forests? Listen to my words and accept my proposal. You can take all my jewelries and wealth. You can stay in my royal palace, commanding other queens. I will give all my wealth to your father, and I will make him ruler of the entire earth. Remember, no one else is there to defeat me in all the three worlds. Your husband Sri Rama cannot rescue you from here, as he is not at all a match for me in strength and wealth." Sita looks dejected after hearing such unpleasant words from Ravana. Reluctant to speak with him directly, she places a grass in front of her and starts to converse with him. By doing this, she wants to convey a message that he is equivalent to a grass to her. "Oh Ravana, why are you running behind married women instead of living happily with your wives? It looks like no one is there in your kingdom to give good advice to you. Even if somebody says good words, it seems you are not paying attention. You are not at all a match to my husband, great Sri Rama, and his brother Lakshmana. You kidnapped me in the absence of both of them as a coward and thief. Rich or poor, Sri Rama only my husband. Bringing me to this place, you brought your own death. I am advising you to hand over me to Sri Rama and ask him to forgive your mistake. I assure he will forgive you, as he is kind enough and will not do any harm. If you fail to do this, I guarantee he will find Lanka city and he will kill you in the battle." Ravana gets frustrated by hearing such strong words from Sita. With anger, he tells her that he has given 1 year time to accept his proposal, that is 10 months ago. Now only 2 months are left in the given time. If she does not accept his proposal within the next 2 months, then the demon women are going to take her as a side dish for their breakfast. At the same time, Sita notices signals from few of his wives who are standing behind Ravana. They are signaling her not to accept his proposal. Through their signals, they also conveyed that he cannot do any harm even if she does not accept his proposal after the 2 months. They are against Ravana and waiting for a long time to see a strong woman like Sita. Boosted by their support, Sita starts to speak with more confidence. "Oh Ravana, it seems no one is suggesting good things to you because everyone in your kingdom is looking for your downfall and death. You cannot escape from my husband's anger. He is an elephant and you are a cat. Listen, I am alone strong enough to burn you into ashes, but I am not doing that because I don't have permission from my husband to do so. If you are a real warrior, then why did you kidnap me in the absence of my husband and his brother? Acting as a Ravana saint gets more frustrated by hearing those words from Sita. He turns to demand women and orders them to convince Sita by words or actions within the next 2 months. Seeing Ravana's anger, his younger wife Danyamali requests him to enjoy her company, saying she is more beautiful and stronger than Sita. Pleased by Danyamali's comparison, Ravana leaves that place with her, laughing loudly. Demand women who are guarding Sita in that place starts to converse with her. Oh Sita, why are you so adamant? Please accept King Ravana's proposal. He is richer and stronger than your husband. He is brother of King Kubera and belongs to the Lord Brahma dynasty. If you accept his proposal, you can lead a luxurious life in Ravana's palace. But Sita declines their words, telling Sri Rama only her husband, even if he is weak, poor, and does not have any kingdom to rule. She strongly states that she is going to stay with her husband Sri Rama like other greatest women in her era, like Arundhati with Vasishta, Sachi Devi with Indra, Rohini with Lord Chandra, Lopamudra with Agastya, Sukanya with Chavana, Savitri with Satyavanta, and Damayanti with King Nala. Upon hearing this from Sita, the demand women scold her with anger and frustration. They threaten her that they are going to share her meat equally after killing her and use her meat as a side dish for their drink. Hearing such hard words from demand women, Sita sheds her tears. She further iterates that even if they kill her, she will not accept Ravana's proposal. She asks them to give poison or a knife so that she can end her life instead of living in that place. She further curses them that all demand women and people of the Lanka city are going to suffer the same and the entire Lanka kingdom is going to be burnt by Sri Rama's anger. All warriors of Lanka, including Ravana, are going to be killed by Sri Rama once he knows information about her. At the same time, one of the aged demand women, Trijata, who is sleeping until that time, reaches there and scolds the other demand women who are threatening Sita with their words. Surprised by her acts, they ask her reason for scolding. Trijata, in her words, I had bad dreams now. I am afraid because these dreams are going to be true as I had these in early morning hours. In my dream, I have seen a Sri Rama's messenger who is burning this kingdom. I have seen Sri Rama, his brother Lakshmana, approaching Sita on top of the elephants. Sita joins with her husband and then touches sun and moon with her hands. In one of the dreams, King Ravana was traveling on a donkey chariot drinking oil. At the same time, one black lady tries to pull our king towards south direction with a rope on his neck. In another dream, I have seen Ravana on top of a pig, Kumbhakarna on top of camel, and Ravana's son Indrajit on top of crocodile traveling towards south direction. Only Vibhishana was traveling on top of elephant with 4 of his ministers. All Lanka soldiers are wandering here and there, wearing red-colored dresses, garlands, and making sounds. All these symptoms are indications that she is going to join her husband soon and the entire Lanka kingdom is going to be destroyed by her husband Sri Rama. After concluding her dreams, Trijata asks fellow demand women to request Sita's mercy so that they can be protected from the upcoming disaster. Sita, who is hearing Trijata's words along with other demand women, gives assurance that she will protect them if the dreams become true. Feared by the outcome of the dreams, all demand women leave that place to take some rest. At the same time, Sita starts to experience some positive signs in her body. Her left eye, left shoulder are starting to vibrate. Her surroundings are looking pleasant and filled with positive vibrations. She feels relaxed without any worries. Anjaneya, who is watching all this from the nearby tree, gets firm belief that she is Sita. So he decides to speak with her with no further delays to convey Sri Rama's message before she goes into depression again. After thinking for a while, he chooses Sanskrit language to speak with her, as the demand women do not understand that language.